So we saying though, does the state of our well-being depend on people that's outside of our control?
Content over everything.
Well, Dijon, so tell me about what happened today. What today was about, fam?
So basically, I had a sit down with the bar commander. I actually found it quite informative. We spoke about the issues between the community and the police, and he said some profound things. I highlighted a few major issues within the community pertaining to the police and ourselves. And my main point was that there is no trust between the police and the community. And Stop and Search, I question this validity based on the fact that less than 5% of Stop and Search gets what they call for. So when we spoke, they were glorifying the fact that it gets credit cards and these little things. But that's not the point of Stop and Search. We're supposed to be getting drugs with a substantial amount of possession to supply or intent to supply, or weapons, deadly weapons.
It's ain't about all the knife crime, ain't that what's all in the news right now?
Yeah, say that again, sorry?
Ain't that about knife crime right now? That's all in the news right now.
You understand what I'm saying? And they're not getting knives, is what I'm saying. So he came. He's a nice guy. He came with a diplomatic response, which I expected. But the truth is, the change comes within ourselves, man. It comes within the community. I can't advocate youths down on the road. I can't back someone that's gonna take out a big Rambo and stab another one of my people. I can't advocate that message. I can't act like the police don't have something to do if that's what you're doing, because that's what you're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what the problem is, if myself and my brothers are out here in the community trying to effectively change things, and we are the ones that are aggressively stopped and searched, then is that a misuse of power?
100%.
So what were they looking for from you up today?
So just perspective, trying to see how we can better rekindle the relationship between the police and the community. I will never say that we don't need the police. I will never say that, because if not, we're living in the purge. Do you understand? There needs to be law, there needs to be order. But we all know that it's institutionally racist, and I'm trying my best to remain as diplomatic as possible. Do you understand what I'm saying? But yeah, but
so what came out of the meeting though? Like what would you say are the highlights of this meeting here?
And the highlights of the meeting is that the borough commander was able to see and understand that there are members of the community that are actively trying to do what the police are trying to do, or present themselves are trying to do, and that the training that they allegedly receive about how to deal with ethnic minorities evidently is not working, because when you're dealing with people that are good people in the community that are upstanding, there just seems to be a breakdown in communication. There just seems to be an imposed will or force of power against people that are good people, and that's what we're trying to essentially stop.
So who called this meeting today?
And the BBC actually set up the meeting. The borough commander agreed to it, and of course I agreed to it, because I'm always, for my truth to be definitive, I have to know every perspective. That's intelligence. I need to know what you're saying and understand where you're coming from, to understand what is happening, so that I can respond accordingly, if that makes sense. For my truth to be definitive, I need to know every perspective. That's
and I think the main thing is that no one's advocating for there not to be police.
Not at all.
No one's ever, I don't think even the deepest roadman have ever done a protest saying we don't need no police. Do you know what I'm saying, fam? So it's like they try to make it seem like man are advocating for no police.
That's not what it is.
Not even like we're advocating for them to eradicate Stop and Search. Yeah. Because we're saying if you've got reasonable grounds and reasonable intelligence,
it makes sense.
Yeah, that Raspect, has a big has something on me. You understand? And you Stop and Search me based upon that intelligence, then I'm not gonna complain. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. I might not even have nothing on me. It might even have been a false claim that was made. But if that's the phone call that you got, I get that.
Absolutely.
We're not talking about that. This is not what we're complaining about where Stop and Search is concerned. We're complaining about, like my brother just said, a police officer driving past right now, seeing Dijon, you understand, seeing Boogz, saying them man look like they're criminals from his own personal prejudices, and then abusing his power because he has no power to Stop and Search us, and making us feel like he has power, and then like I'm saying, man are finding the credit cards, but because we're being disproportionately targeted, the other communities that might have the same credit cards are not being affected in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're saying. We're saying if everyone's making a noise about the knives, everyone's making a noise about the violence, if that's what you're saying that the thing is about, you know what I'm saying, then then we need to find ways of getting to the violence. And another thing I'm saying is they keep on sidetracking the issue. All right, let's say tomorrow, yeah, we invest $1 million in stop and search. Let's say everyone's getting stopped and searched. Yeah, is that going to change the vibe? Is that going to solve the situation? No, because most of the people that hold the tools, yeah, ain't get stopping for no stop and search. Yeah, man are just going to start stashing stuff off. Yeah, man are going to start making people carry for them. Yeah, man are only going from A to B. You understand? So, like, say if you get a call
so was stop and search the only thing that was suggested as a solution, as a possible solution to conflict?
That's all they talk about, bro.
It seemed as though stop and search was being reinforced, and it was spoken of as if it is working effectively to deal with the knife crime issue, which
you were saying that the borough commander.
Yeah, he was saying that it stopped. To be fair, he didn't actually specify knives, but he's saying that he believes it works because the 1/3 that they're talking about of the stops that they do get, which might be a little bag of weed or it might be a little credit card that might not belong to somebody. Which like I said, I don't advocate crime.
Yeah.
I advocate to be legal, to build your empire. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it should be an empire that you should be proud to leave a legacy. You should be proud to leave to your children. But what I'm saying is that for me personally, when I see or on social media or whatever, something gets sent to me where another young king or young queen has been killed, it actually ruins the whole vibe of my day. It ruins my day.
We're not avoiding the fact that we have to look within ourselves so that the youth can learn and understand that their mindset is right.
I want to know what was suggested as solutions, though. Or what they say they're gonna do going forward,
bro,
in response to all of this.
They've got stop and search powers now, so anytime they're advocating for stop and search, they're advocating for more powers than they've already got. This is what man have to understand. They've got stop and search powers now. So what they're really advocating for is to be able to stop and search without reasonable grounds. Yeah?
And they're saying that's a solution.
That's basically what they're saying, the solution.
Is that what you interpreted from what they said? Is that what they directly said?
That's the terrorist act. That's the section 45 and section 60. Is
that what they suggested as introducing? That's what they suggested as introducing.
In North London and
in this meeting here, is that what they're saying?
That's when they talk about stop and search. That's what they're suggesting because they haven't got rid of stop and search. So if they're talking about stop and search, they're only talking about adding powers onto stop and search. Because when did they get rid of it? So they're not talking about something they've got rid of that they're bringing back. They're talking about they need more powers, and they need to be doing it more. You understand? These are the things they're talking about, and they can't be doing
more stop and.
But what I'm saying is they can't be doing it more if it's based upon reasonable grounds and intelligence. Because reasonable ground and intelligence is based upon the call or based upon the scenario. So if you're saying you need to do it more, then you're talking about doing it outside of scenarios where there's reasonable grounds, which is what we're talking about, yeah? But what I'm saying is, if that is their solution, let them do that solution, and okay, the worst case, the best case scenario is we're going to throw a lot of youth that might even just be carrying out of this, into a jail situation where they're going to be overly criminalized, yeah? Is that going to solve the situation in our community, or is it going to send them into the jail where they're going to only fight each other inside the jail and bring those jail passes on the roads, which is what's happening a lot. Man, you know a lot of people that went into jail normal and come out looking haunted, yeah? So what I'm saying is they're dashing the youths in jail, and then the youths are going in jail, and then they're coming out and they're making a drill tune about the other side. This is a big part of it, bro. So I'm saying our solution in the community is take those resources and invest them in the youth.
Well, did you suggest that to them?
So it's interesting when you came and you said that. That was one of my suggestions. Okay. More funding into schemes, more funding into programs and things.
And what was their response?
To be fair, he said he agreed. The bar commander.
Hang on a front. I doubt it's the first time that they've heard man suggest that. You know, I see them agreeing a lot, but I don't know if.
This is my issue with them. They agree when we put it forward, but they don't advocate. I'm saying if you officers genuinely want to see a change, because right now you're the only benefactor. You're getting funding from this. You think PC Plod, when he goes home and hears about Tyrone killed the way, you think he cares? Bro, he's eating his shepherd's pie the same way. Nothing changes. It affects you when you hear it. It affects me when I hear it.
You know what? I happen to understand and know for a fact, as an example of myself, purpose changes everything.
Right.
When you understand what you are here to do and who you are and what you're called to do, it changes everything. And that's not just in relation to sports and music, which are the only fields that the community seem to be seeing, basically, if that makes sense. We can be investment bankers, we could be lawyers, we could change it, we could be judges, we could be traders, we could there's so much more we can be, and I know that there are several programs in place, and my program is one of them that teaches every one of these young kids that I work with from the age of 8 to 18, even beyond that you can be anything you want to be. But it starts with self-belief, it starts with you, and it starts with the decisions you're making. It starts with the decisions you're making. Do you understand? But you can be anything you want to be, and I have come from the, as I said, I always speak about this, I come from the same place. Do you understand? I come from to understand what it takes to move from one place to the other place.
100.
Do you understand?
But that's what we need more of. If they're investing in more dons like you, my brother,
and your soul king, and your soul king. You understand what I'm saying? And your soul king.
Well, if it's us in the community, these little 13, 14-year-olds, and we've got resources to actually, you know, create opportunities and show them these things, man, we're going to see direct change tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That's going to do way more than stop and search. Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
So we saying though, does the state of our well-being depend on people that's outside of our control?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm just saying where the police are concerned, they get a lot of funding, which basically, in order for you to do the works within the community, you have to link to them. Yeah, but that affects the community because the community doesn't trust them. Yeah, so there's a big breakdown. So I'm just saying that some money needs to be put outside of them into the community because they're getting £2 billion to solve the issue. So I'm just saying that that's where they should allocate their money. My thing is that our only real solution is for the big brothers, yeah, in the community to come together, yeah, and change it ourselves, yeah, and we're gonna have to fund it ourselves so that they can't ever do anything. That doesn't mean that when it's time and there's resources that is allocated for that, yeah, we don't utilize off of that, but we never rely on that. We're always, we never depend on it. We're always thinking of our own separate way that is self-sufficient. So even if they were to take this away, we're smooth sailing. That's all right. That just added. We just took use on some trips and we just was able to do more. But we've got our own self-sufficient thing, because if we ever rely on this system, it's going to happen like it's happened so many times to me and other people. You have something, you're doing it, and the minute they're ready to take it under your feet, you're back to square one.
So Dijon, what would you say needs to be done from our control in order to see a future that man want to see?
I agree with what Raspect said in regards to the community coming together and even putting our own money into it, because what we need to provide is not just motivation, but an option that is financially viable. Do you understand? So these kids, the trap is a big thing. A lot of these guys are doing what they're doing because they need money. Everybody needs money, but money is glorified as the main thing. Not understanding that when you choose purpose, money comes with purpose. Do you understand? It goes hand in hand. But it just takes a bit longer when you chase purpose. It takes a bit longer.
100.
And sometimes they don't have the time. But so what we need to do is basically try in the best way to facilitate, as I said, opportunities where they can make money, learn, like apprenticeship. An apprenticeship is a great example of learning. Getting paid to learn while getting paid to learn. Yeah, that's one of the main things.
And I'll add to that as well. I think you mentioned it earlier when we were speaking about the mindset as well.
Absolutely. How
you can grow and change as well. So if they've got something to focus on, then possibly that's going to change what they're thinking about, what they're focused on, change their purpose.
Absolutely.
Therefore, enabling those funds or efforts that people are putting in to try and help them, to help them change themselves as well. Because that's really where it's at. Like we say, the stop and search for me is quite a failure, simply because, as they say, they've taken that one knife off the street and they've stopped a murder, they say. But as we well know, if that child has got in their mind they want to go and get this brother because they're angry with them, they're going to do something else. They're going to do it in another way, another shape or form. It can't be stopped unless their mind is changed. That's why I'm an advocate against that. I don't think it helps at all.
And that's why it takes the community as well, beyond finances. Just being a listening ear. I remember posting something a few months ago, just saying, imagine if one person in the community just chose to mentor one young person in their community. Every time you see them, you got something to say to them.
Yep.
Drop a little word. If you're financially in a position, help them out in the best way that you can.
And exactly.
have to run to my car, you know, fam.
The mindset. The mindset thing. Like, also saying the youth change their mind. It's also change our mind. And we're seeing them, engaging them, and speaking to them like the man them do. He's got something going on. Speak to them every day. You know, every time I see you, I try and engage them. But it's all about mindsets and us controlling what we're in control of. Yeah, we can't just let it go to the. You know, but yeah.
So final thoughts on the meeting. Just once again for everybody who just logging on, let them know where we are and what we're here for, what we came here for, and your final thoughts on how you feel the day went.
I think it was a productive day, and I was actually impressed with the response of the Borough Commander. I believe more sit-downs like this are imperative to see the change. Because if you're saying that you want to sit down and speak to me as a police officer or as a unit, then you're showing me that you're trying to physically implement something or try to work towards something or build a relationship or whatever. But it can't just be conversation. Something needs to physically manifest from this also. More conversations, as I said, need to happen. I think the community need to engage a bit more. I think there should be a panel where the community, different members of the community, should be able to engage with the police and tell them how they feel.
They never turn up. They're always running. They like stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Where it's controlled situations. I've had so many panels and unis where only time I debated the officer was Westminster University of Law. He's the first one to turn up. And them times they didn't even know about me too much. But a lot of the time they don't turn up, or even like they do little, but yeah, hopefully, because that would be a good thing. I would be there for that.
Yeah, I think that would really.
I'd be there for that.
Because there's stats. Everyone, we can reel off stats and facts for days. Black people are 4 times more likely. I understand that 89% of murder suspects in the UK are white. Do you know what I mean? 89% of the murder suspects are white. 86% are the high population in the UK are white people. And the homicides, 86% are white people that are murdered, and 89% of those are the suspects. But obviously in London, it's all the media has a part to play. It is focused specifically on the black community. That's why the stats of them being 4 times more likely to use force against us are there, which is racism. It is a form of racism. It's a form of institutional racism. Based on exactly.
Cool, man. So now, man. You say we're gonna say the closing words.
Nah, man. I know. We're out here. Shout out Dijon. Shout out Boogz. You know what I'm saying? Police UK.
Anything we can do to create a change. Anything we can do.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Content.
It's a pleasure to meet you personally.
Content over everything. Riding on no just.
I can't even like it. I like everything. You just gotta be on your page. See the TikTok.
Content over everything. From your melanin.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen.
When the camera comes out, I'm a bad person. Thank you. And that's what I'm saying. He ain't the government. He's not the problem.
And you know what? I was quite enlightened, and I love the fact that he wanted someone